place has been running since maybe I don't know how many our grandfathers are there.
I agree.
So why would they change something? Teacher training is the main thing, I guess.
And I think I think the most important for me, the question is how to motivate kids to study, to learn. You said do it in a fun way. I agree. But मेरे साथ तो biggest problem is कि वो पढ़ रही my daughter is studying and वो छोटू आता है and वो कुछ कुछ उसकी बुक में लिख के चला जाएगा कुछ कर देगा कोई टॉय लेकर आ जाएगा and she gets distracted because the attention span obviously of them
It's
is
very
very
less.
less,
I
very
know.
less. She get distracted and उसके बाद उसको दोबारा से 5 मिनट बिठाना becomes a task.
I know. See, in this case, what you can do is, I give this example a lot. If I'm talking about English, I talk about maths, any subject I take, we have toys in our houses if we have kids. And let me just take the most common toys, which are blocks,
Blocks, right?
right? Um, Once I was doing an activity for a child, and on the block I wrote one of the blocks I wrote C, other one A, and then T. And my daughter was like, "Why are you doing this to my toys?" I like, "I'll clean it, please don't worry. But you're going to enjoy it the way I'm doing it with you." And I didn't then just told her, "I'm gonna say words and you have to just pull out those sounds and put it together." So I think that's one way. We have magnet tiles in our houses. Why don't you do all of these things? Story, I would say these are just for words, right?
Yeah.
Blending sounds into words. Now you could have come up with a question, and what if I want my girl to read the storybooks?
Yes.
Maybe just tell your little one to sit there and listen what your sister is telling you. She would be more interested in reading that story, and he's interested in listening. Oh, what is she saying? Right? And scribbling is, I think, not a problem. We have
And I
walls and
think
everything is
yes,
scribbled by kids.
I
So
think the
that's something we
sibling
cannot ignore and avoid.
absolutely. And what do you think how education system when it comes to primary education as we are talking about, how it has evolved during the time? Earlier, Montessori was not a thing, and now I really want to understand about Montessori from you.
Montessori, even today, everybody is not aware of it.
Yeah.
Phonics also, everybody is not aware of it. When queries come up from parents, and you wouldn't believe parent calling and telling us, "अच्छा आप कौन सा course कराते हो?" Phonics. Phonics क्या होता है? Mothers, they don't even know what phonics is.
I agree.
So awareness is not there. Montessori, nobody knows. Montessori is actually it's हैंड ऑन प्रैक्टिस. मोंटेसरी हमें क्या बताता है कि जो आपको पढ़ना है वो आप बच्चे को हैंड से प्रैक्टिस कराओ. आपको बच्चे को टेक्सचर सिखाना है, सॉफ्ट रफ का, तो आप वो बच्चे को टच करके सिखाओ. और हमारे ट्रेडिशनल वे में क्या है, स्कूल्स में क्या है, बुक्स में बता देंगे, पिक्चर्स बना देंगे. ये
Cotton is soft. Cotton is soft
Exactly.
and rock is rough and hard.
Yes. So Montessori is कि उसको फील करके बच्चा सीखेगा. I think जो वो टच करे, फील करे, उसको ज़्यादा याद रहेगा. That is hands-on practice, and that is what Montessori is. Right. Now coming to one more thing I would talk about is I'm sure you might have heard about NCF, National Curriculum Framework.
No.
2023 they framed it again. एंड दे एक्चुअली पहले क्या होता था, ग्रेड 1 से जो नीचे वाले क्लासेस हैं, प्री प्राइमरी जो जिसको हम बोलते हैं प्री नर्सरी, केजी, अपर केजी, लोअर केजी, उसको इम्पोर्टेंस ही नहीं दिया जाता था. एंड पेरेंट्स दे ऑल्सो यूज्ड टू से कि
अभी तो बच्चे
ग्रेड 1 से करा देंगे, नर्सरी
totally
रीडिंग नहीं आती, कोई बात नहीं, स्कूल में सिखा देंगे, ग्रेड 1 से हो जाएगा, सब हो जाएगा. NCF 23 made it mandatory that these years would be the foundation years, and it is important for a child to have those studied before they reach grade 1. So this is how our education system is also refining themselves. They are also working from there, and I wouldn't say that they're not doing anything.
Isn't it putting too much pressure on kids?
I guess no. Because आप एक बात बताओ मुझे, आपका बच्चा घर पे भी क्या ही करता है सारा दिन?
मतलब they it's just a free play for them, and that's what they say कि free play is very important.
If you put your child into a play school, and I think there also they're not giving them books or pencils. It's also a free play.
Yeah, free
and
play.
there
It's
also,
just little structure.
if you look into the syllabus of pre-nursery, it's nothing. And I do believe that when my daughter was in preschool, I used to feel that क्या लेके जाते हैं बैग में, it's just a tiffin box.
Agree.
Nothing, they're not carrying anything, they're going, maybe one day they're learning about colors, the other day they are having maybe some celebration in school for maybe a fruit day, or what all days do we celebrate
Right,
in
right,
pre-nursery.
right.
So I think it's not a pressure. I would also again give an example. Over here there's a pot, right? So it's up to you what you're filling into that. एक घड़ा है मिट्टी का, आपकी मर्जी है आप उसमें क्या भर रहे हो. If you put that child into maybe you just take say that that child is sitting back home and maybe sitting and watching those serials with dadi, or maybe just having scrolling phone, or maybe just listening to maids and nannies what they're talking. Instead let him spend those 3 hours in play school. उस घड़े में अगर कुछ अच्छा भरेगा तो वो वहीं नीचे रहेगा सेटल, इट वोंट एवर गो आउट. बच्चे का दिमाग वो घड़े की तरह ही होता है. Whatever you're filling into it na, it
Makes
remains
sense,
there.
yeah. And why Montessori education, या अगर हम उन्हें बच्चों को Montessori स्कूल में डालें, it's very expensive. And even the toys are very expensive.
Yes, because that is something, it's expensive. I believe it's not Indian concept. And I'm not very sure whether it's a UK or a US concept, so I would hands up on that thing. But if something we are getting from outside, from a foreign world, it's obviously expensive. I am myself Montessori trained from London, Montessori London.
Okay.
So yes, I know. And if you look at those stuff now, it's actually very nice. And when I first saw it, I was like, wow, क्या चीज़ है ये, इतनी अच्छी है. And for every concept, they have something. So
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
I
For every
believe if
concept they
you've
have.
put a labor into something, if you've put your brains into something, that's going to be expensive. And the course, I would say it's expensive because they are teaching you something which is not easily available over here. Montessori कहीं भी नहीं होता है, schools में भी होता है. तो Montessori, you know, they have shelves. उनका shelf होता है room में, and it's like all 3 walls they have shelf, and सब में Montessori material होता है. तो if I talk about a school ना, schools में भी शायद सारे shelves नहीं होते हैं. We just have a few of them. Right?
Okay.
So Montessori works overall, as I say, texture ले लो या फिर buttoning ले लो, जहाँ पे वो gross motor skills पे work कर रहे हैं, your fingers and everything. So I think that's the reason why Montessori is expensive. वो overall आपके body, brains, हर जगह work कर रहा है. So overall skills are developed.
And I think it's hands-on only. We can't do
Everything
it
is
online.
hands-on. We have maths also in Montessori. We have English also in Montessori. Everything is hands-on. So as I said, there are lots of shelves which school doesn't have.
Oh, yes. And what if mom studies all the phonic things and want to teach their child?
Please grab that opportunity. Lots of mamas, they are going to tell us that